I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing. And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lucas Oil Raceway at Indianapolis. Is getting set for another night of Silver Crown Cup official series racing. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you joining us this evening. Round number 9, rapidly drawing 2021 Season 3 to a close, and we have a spectacular championship battle brewing. Cars are out on the racetrack right now. Let's get you rolling through here. Qualifications ongoing. Points leader Brandon Buckberger entered into tonight's race. 1,325 championship points. 8 weeks, 8 wins. 8 starts. 3 wins, 6 top 5s, no poles. Thomas Lewandowski has 15 starts over the 8 weeks. 6 wins, 9 top 5s, 7 pole position awards. Those two drivers separated by only about 50 markers. It's another 40 back to Jeffrey Stanton, who runs in the 3rd position in points as they run right now.
Show you the qualification times here. Derek Love going to be quickest of the lot so far. Timothy Watson, Ryan Steele, Brandon Buckberger, Pablo Donoso, your top 5. Seeing our buddy Liam Jackson checking into the comments, saying hello, love the vids. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. I want to remind everybody that if you are so inclined, you can help support these broadcasts here on the National Racing Network by sending super chats or becoming a membership. If you're becoming a member of the NRN family, if you want to support us a little more personal way, starting at just a couple of bucks a month. New quick time to the top of the board. Jeffrey Stanton, 20.258 seconds. 3/100ths faster than Connor Babel, who unseated Derek Love off the top of the speed charts. Going to knock Manuel Paredes back down to the 5th position, 20.394 seconds. Here's James Watson making his way off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Lap number 2 on the board, going to be 20.545 seconds. Going to slot James into the 10th position. Good qualifying run there for James Watson. Laura Gerhardt, Nate Ranke, Cristobal Valenzuela, Josh Batista going to round out the field. 16 cars here in the top split. Another 14 running in split number 2. Should be a pretty darn exciting night of racing coming up here from Lucas Oil Raceway. At this point, we're looking to see if anybody can break some of the strangleholds we have here at the top of the charts. Gonna have another spectacular race coming up tomorrow night with the iRacing Sprint Car Cup taking to the racetrack as Nate Ranke moves up to 4th place in the qualifying order, and that will complete qualifications here with about 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go. 16 cars all have turned a qualified lap. Let us know where you're watching from. Give the video a like and a share. That's a completely free way to show some support here. Want to thank everybody who's tuning in on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/National Racing Network if you're so inclined to give us the follow over on that side of things. Just coming off a pretty awesome recording coming up tomorrow, probably around noontime, I would guess. We are going to be releasing another edition of the Pizza at the Pagoda podcast. Talking all things IndyCar and, well, the adventure that was the race this past weekend down there on the streets of Nashville, Tennessee. Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright are heading out to Knoxville, Tennessee for the 60th annual Knoxville Nationals, the granddaddy of them all in the 410 sprint car world. I think Williams Grove Speedway out here might have a little bit of a bone of contention there with the call on that one, but their National Open every year is pretty spectacular as well. As we get ready for cars to hit the starting grid, let's get you tonight's weather conditions presented by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather information for eastern Pennsylvania. 81 degrees the ambient temperature. Winds out of the west, southwest, south-southwest, or west-southwest, whatever you want to call it. 15 mile an hour under partly cloudy skies. 84-degree track temperature. Kind of right in that sweet spot for where these drivers are going to be able to make a lot of time here on the racetrack. Let's get you tonight's starting grid. Jeffrey Stanton will lead the field to the green flag, claiming tonight's pole position by 24 thousandths of a second over New York's Connor Babel. Derek Love and Nate Ranke will occupy the second row. Row number 3 is going to have Timothy Watson and Manuel Paredes. Ryan Steele, Brandon Buckberger on row 4, Pablo Donoso and Laura Gerhardt on row 5. Row 6, Joseph Smith and James Watson. Josh Batista, Rodrigo Munoz on row number 7. Tommy Toe, Cristobal Valenzuela on the 8th and final row here this evening. By my count, that is 4 drivers out of the Hispano-America region, most of them out of the nation of Chile. I want to say hello to all of our Chilean viewers out there. European native Laura Gerhardt, also Canadian Josh Batista. Truly international feel to the starting grid here this evening. Waiting on a couple of cars here to still get out onto the grid, including Manuel Paredes, Pablo Donoso, and Cristobal Valenzuela. See Liam checking in from Orlando, Florida. Thank you very much for tuning in here. Coverage tonight leading off from the worldwide broadcast headquarters of the National Racing Network in beautiful Bucks County, Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. Cars are going to make their way off on the formation lap, and without Pablo Donoso on the grid. So I would imagine a little bit of connection issues there for Mr. Donoso. Tonight's race will be 100 laps in distance. We saw these cars running right up against the outside wall the last time we were out here in Season 2. Absolutely fantastic venue. Perfect racetrack for these Silver Crown cars. Located in Brownsburg, Indiana, just outside the great city of Indianapolis. Pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn. The field will be under the control of Jeffrey Stanton. Making their way off at turn number 4. And as always, race fans, the start of the Silver Crown Cup at IRP is all yours. Lap number 1 is in the books, and it's going to belong to Jeffrey Stanton. Good side-by-side battle making their way off through turns 1 and 2. On the outside, going to be the 2 of points leader Brandon Buckberger. Manuel Paredes in the 5 down to the inside. Pablo Donoso did get back out onto the racetrack, but he is going to have a long road to hoe if he's going to get back up towards the front of the field. Buckberger now going to battle with the 16 of Timothy Watson. Watson up on the outside of the racetrack. Very quickly, 3 laps going on the scoreboard. It's going to be all Jeffrey Stanton at the front of the field. Connor Babel, Derek Love, and Nate Ranke, the top 4 all in line. Called about 10 car lengths back to 5th place running Timothy Watson. Back in the pack, going to see Laura Gerhardt looking to the inside of the 14 of Tommy Toe. That battle will stay hot and heavy down to the inside. Gerhardt going to try almost that little soft slider. Toe has to get on the biters just a little bit. That's really what you're trying to do. It's not quite like a dirt track slider where you're going to slide the car and then grip up real big as you get off the corner. You're basically just trying to slide up in front of the car ahead of you. Pick up this battle between Timothy Watson and Brandon Buckberger for the 5th position. A little bit of contact off of turn number 2. A little bit of left side loving there from the 16 of Watson. Derek Love, Nate Ranke going to battle for the 3rd position. Connor Babel Sticking about a third of a second back, call it 4 car lengths back of your race leader. Car length and a half separating third place Love and fourth place Ranky. Laps are going to tick off in a big time hurry. Trouble on the speedway for Brandon Buckberger. We stay under green, but take a look and see what happened. Get you the Hot Shoe Raceway Instant Replay. Keep your eye on the number 2 of Buckberger. Oh, a little bit of contact with Tommy Toe. He's going to spin it around, makes very gentle contact with the inside retaining wall. Looks like Buckberger's going to be able to keep that car moving in a straight line. Little bit of damage on the right front of that machine. Tough break for Brandon Buckberger. We go back to the live look here. Here he is all by his lonesome down the back straightaway as we work lap number 12. And here comes race leader Jeffrey Stanton. He is catching Buckberger pretty darn quickly here. Buckberger now being scored almost 16 seconds in arrears of the race leaders. 20.5 seconds the last lap time for Jeffrey Stanton. Top 4 have definitely distanced themselves out just a little bit here. Head back in the pack, we'll pick up Timothy Watson and Joseph Smith. Smith going to look down to the inside off of turn number 4. Right now, this is the tightest battle on the racetrack, and it is the fight for the 7th position as we work lap number 15 of 100. With the fight settling down here just a little bit, let's run you through the front of the field. There is your race leader, Jeffrey Stanton, out to just about 1 second of a lead over Connor Babel. Napa Auto Parts on the side of that, number 94 for Stanton. A little bit of a tank slapper off of turn number 2. Stanton has not had the success he might have liked so far this season here in the Silver Crowns. Currently being scored 3rd in points. In 8 starts, he has no wins, but 6 top 5 finishes. Average start of 6, average finish of 4th. Just over 100 points back of points leader Brandon Buckberger. Connor Babel runs in the 2nd position. Tropicana Orange Juice on the side of that, number 10. Running in the 3rd position, not too far back, the Hellman's Mayonnaise Whiskey River, number 7 of Nate Ranke. Ranke, oh, caution is out on the speedway. Trouble on the racetrack, and looks like it was Brandon Buckberger once again having an issue. Get you the Hot Shoe Raceway Instant Replay. See what happened here in turns 3 and 4. Buckberger started to break loose a little bit. Oh, man, race leaders having to split them big time to get around them. That's what brings out the first caution flag of the race here. So there is race leader, Jeffrey Stanton, as he makes his way off of turn number 4. Seeing Brandon Buckberger going to be heading pit side here. Looks like he will, at a minimum, need some repair work done to that number 2 machine. See the right front corner all banged up on that one. Unfortunately, that will probably be the end of the night for Brandon Buckberger. May try to salvage it as much as he can in the way of points here if some of the other drivers have issues, but 23 laps are already in the books. Buckberger down and away after the repairs here, as we've still got a lap or so to go before we get back to green flag racing. There you can see him getting back in line. But the right front corner definitely a little bit mangled on that one. Seeing our buddy Matt Wagner checking in. Ooh, Silver Crown. Yes. That one's fun. Big old super chat coming in here. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate that. Ryan checking in saying hello from the bottom split. Oh, man, hope you're not under that much yellow flag down there. Looks rough. I'll tell you what, the racing's been pretty darn spectacular so far here. Matt will be crowned the Ezra IndyCar Series champion by simply getting into the server, basically, on Thursday night. Looks like we're going to do another lap under the caution flag here. Very long caution period here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. See the lights go out there as lap number 25 goes on the board. It will be 1/4 distance complete next time they come around. And less than 15 minutes to get those 25 laps completed. Stanton doing the waggle in the middle of the corners, getting the tires all warmed up, ready to go. See when Jeffrey Stanton elects to restart this race. He is the control car and will decide when the field is ready to go here. He's going to make that call off at turn number 4. Green flag goes back in the air. He's going to have a 3-car length lead as they get to turn number 1. Connor Babel opening up about a car length over Nate Ranke, who's going to have Derek Love right on his tail tank off of 2. Great drive off the corner. Lets Ranke open the gap up. Everybody sliding up towards the outside safer barrier here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. And that has been the preferred line around this place about since the day it opened, back in the 1960s. Oh, big moment back in the pack. Timothy Watson having a huge moment off at turn number 2. Going to battle with Manuel Paredes. That is the fight for the 6th position as Jeffrey Stanton just set a fastest lap of the race. To answer your question, Matt, yes, it did. Tooting their own horn here, the Weather Center checking in saying, excuse me, are award nominees permitted to watch? Nominated for favorite nonprofit by the Times News Lehigh. Oh, trouble. Big contact. Way up and over goes the number 8 of Joseph Smith. Huge hit down the back straightaway. Smith going to finish upside down. You can't park there. Take a look at the replay. A little bit of contact with a 16. That's the second incident of the night Timothy Watson's been involved in, and a wild ride down the back straightaway for Joseph Smith. Unfortunately, he's going to have to take the tow into the pit area. Tell you what, though, let's get you another look at this one on board with the number 8. There's the contact. Not a lot of sky ground there, that's for sure, but going to mean the end of the night for Joseph Smith, or at least the end of any shot at a decent finish. As we pick up race leader Jeffrey Stanton. They say cautions breed cautions, and we had it happen there just a couple of laps after the first caution comes to a conclusion. Brandon Buckberger getting a lucky dog. That's going to put him right back on the lead lap. Only losing one lap in the incident he had earlier. Actually, a couple of incidents so far tonight for for Brandon Buckberger. No problems whatsoever for Jeffrey Stanton here at the front of the field. And with them still circulating under the caution flag here, let's see if we can get a quick word here in with Jeffrey Stanton. And tell you what, Jeffrey, that number 94 machine looks pretty darn hooked up out there from practice straight through qualifying and now into the race.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I don't burn right here, right front off. I'm just kind of running this diamond line here. I'm just going to try to give it my best shot.
I say that's probably the biggest consideration at this point is make sure you got enough tire left for the battle that may be coming at the end of this one.
Yeah, I know that for sure. I'm afraid to run the top too much here because I know it gets tight up there. So, I don't know. But I know I'll burn the tires off if I run it too low. So, just have to see how it goes.
All right, Jeffrey, thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And, yeah, that's the game at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. You got to run up against the outside wall to be fast, but the car will get very tight, little bit of contact, and your race is over. So how about it here, race fans? Brandon Buckberger all the way at the back of the freight train here. He's now back on the lead lap after his incident. Pablo Donoso also on the lead lap. A little bit of a surprise to see that number 3 machine back there at the back of the pack. Let's run you through the field here as we pick up race leader Jeffrey Stanton. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car. Stanton, Ranky, Babel, Love, and Steele, your top 5. Manuel Paredes, Timothy Watson, Laura Gerhardt, Josh Batista, and Rodrigo Munoz, your top 10. Tommy Toe, Cristobal Valenzuela, James Watson, Pablo Donoso, Brandon Buckberger, the 15 cars. On the lead lap, Joseph Smith getting back out onto the racetrack after his pit service. 3 minutes, 27 seconds, the time of the stop. Good start there for Jeffrey Stanton. Going to open up a little bit of a lead here over Nate Ranke, who got around Connor Babel right before the caution flag came out. Side-by-side battle just back behind Ryan Steele, Derek Love. Full send into the corner for Ryan Steele. He's going to slide up in front of Love. About a little bit further back in the pack here. Pablo Donoso, James Watson dueling side by side. Brandon Buckberger wants a piece of the action as well. Watson able to hold on. He's got some damage. Oh, Watson bangs it off the outside safer barrier. Trouble for the 39 of James Watson. That car is going to have even more damage now, and that will be an absolute handful to contend with as this race continues on. Everybody pretty well single file here. Tommy Toe and Pablo Donoso going to be battling. This is the fight for the 11th position. That 13 of Cristobal Valenzuela almost got it up into the outside safer barrier as well there in turns 1 and 2. That's the issue. You got to run high, but you run too high, you're going to make the contact. Archiving Ohio Dirt Track Racing, saying he slept on his phone and turned it off after the DXS race that was on just a little bit ago here. Now he's heading into work. Well, enjoy the night shift, brother. Did a lot of those in my early years. A little bit further forward here, Manuel Paredes, Timothy Watson going to be battling for the 6th position. Derek Love just ahead already, 41 laps going up on the scoreboard here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. The venue formerly and forever known as IRP. Good little scrap making its way off at turn 2 here. Josh Batista, Timothy Watson, Lara Gerhardt, Rodrigo Munoz. These cars all staying side by side, and everybody single file all the way back through the field here. Jeffrey Stanton with about a third of a second lead over Nate Ranke at the front of the field. No battle for the race lead. Munoz thought about having a look to the inside of Lara Gerhardt. Going to stay right up on the tail tank as they get into 3. And these cars are built like a brick, so not much in the way of aero push, but the mechanical push, that will absolutely come into play over the course of this race. Here's Munoz looking to the inside. Gerhardt going to have to give up the position. Nice pass there by Rodrigo Munoz down to the inside of Lara Gerhardt. Looking a little further forward here, Derek Love, Manuel Paredes, Josh Batista. This is the fight for 5th, and it's about a second and a half up to 4th place running Ryan Steele. The gap at the front now up to a half second for Jeffrey Stanton over Nate Ranke. Connor Babel holding on to the 3rd position. Almost a full second between 2nd and 3rd. Babel going to be locked in a battle here with Ryan Steele. Steele getting caught up onto the back end off of 4. Babel moves to the inside. Discretion, the better part of valor there. So as we approach the halfway point here, a couple laps shy of halfway, Jeffrey Stanton is your race leader by 10 car lengths over Nate Ranke. The question becomes, who's saving their tires enough to hold on here for the late race run? Ryan Steele almost 2 seconds back now of the race leader. Connor Babel not going quietly into that good night, as he's going to be within a couple car lengths as they come off of 2. Just a little bit further back, this fight with Derek Love, Manuel Paredes, Josh Batista starting to heat up. Batista may have gotten a piece of the outside safety barrier there, right about the middle of turn number 2. He's going to run a little about half a lane down as here comes Paredes looking to the inside of Love down the front straightaway. Paredes not quite enough ahead to slide up the racetrack. He's going to have to get on the binders or at least off the throttle just a little bit. That opens the door for Batista. The 2 ahead of him staying side by side. Let's go on board with Josh Batista. Take a look at the battle here. Paredes gets by Derek Love. Oh man, Batista with a great drive off the corner. A little bit of a shove into the back end of Paredes down on corner entry. He wants past in a big way. You hear the throttle control on corner exit, trying not to get the rear wheels spun up too much. Fantastically tight battle here for the 5th, 6th, 7th, and even 8th position. How about Pablo Donoso? What a recovery drive from the back of the pack. Connection issue booted him out. Missed the start. Donoso all the way up to running in the 8th position. Now past the halfway point. 56 laps are complete. Oh, Donoso up into the outside safer barrier. Big contact with a wall in 3 and 4. He's going to lose all that ground he made up. Going to have to go right back to work. Timothy Watson getting it up into the outside wall as well. You can see the handle really starting to go away on these race cars the later in this race we get, and we're only at the halfway point. Trouble on the racetrack for James Watson. Once this battle settles down, we'll get you a look at the instant replay on that one. Watson able to get into the pit area without a caution flag coming out. What a fantastic fight this is. Call it 4 cars within 0.3 of a second as they cross the start-finish line. Second long green flag run of this race, and we'll knock on wood for no commentator's curse here because this racing has been absolutely incredible here in the Silver Crowns. Jeffrey Stanton with a 1-second lead over Nate Ranke at the front of the field. Brandon Buckberger on the charge once again, along with Pablo Donoso. This is going to be a fun story to watch develop over the last third of this race. How far up the field can Donoso and Buckberger recover? Separate reasons for being at the back. We talked about the connection issues that Donoso had. Buckberger involved with contact with Timothy Watson. Pass up here at the front of the field. Let's show it to you on the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Connor Babel getting around Ryan Steele for the 3rd position. Steele backs it down to the inside. Babel easily around the outside. But Babel 3.5 seconds back, and Nate Ranke for 2nd. Rodrigo Munoz, Pablo Donoso battling off of turn number 2. Excuse me, off of 4. They'll continue that fight now off of 2. Donoso down to the inside. Munoz up on the high side. Really a difficult spot. Oh, Munoz up into the outside wall. Soft contact with the outside safer barrier going to cost Rodrigo Munoz 2 positions. Slide up further in the field here. Ryan Steele going to have to really hustle to hold off Manuel Paredes. Two-thirds of the way through this 100 lapper. Steele down to the inside. Excuse me, that was Derek Love down to the inside. Ryan Steele about 4 seconds ahead of this group running in the 4th position. Love going to look down to the inside of Paredes off of 4. Might not. Oh, contact! Love goes around. Paredes involved as well. Huge hit for Pablo Donoso. We're going to wad him up. Drivers meeting, turn 1. Huge incident down the front straightaway. get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay here. Derek Love, Manuel Paredes making contact down the straightaway. Love tips it up and over. He's going to have to take the tow back into the pit area. Pablo Donoso getting caught in this one. He went for a wild ride. Looked like Marcus Ericsson down there in Nashville this past weekend. And no backup cars available to these drivers. Get you one more look here. Go on board with Donoso. Sticks the landing. Nice job. Didn't hit anything after the initial contact. Russian judge scores that one a 7. So we'll see which of these cars are going to have to make their way onto pit road for some damage repair. Looks like we are going to see the 15. Well, I thought we were going to see the 15 of Josh Batista on pit road. Looks like Tommy Toe may have also gotten a piece of that one. Absolutely junked race cars here. Pablo Donoso currently leading the NASCAR Wheel and Modified division here this evening. A lot of bent up race cars, but they're all still in contention here. That's probably why they're not coming to the pits. Not going to get you much benefit. And unless you have the meatball flag that says you have to come, don't really see a reason to. See if we can get a word in here under the caution flag with our second place running driver, Nate Ranke. And Nate, the cars look pretty darn good out there, but it seems like Jeffrey might just be a hair quicker. Have you been saving tires this whole time?
Oh, I wish I was able to tell you I was saving tires. No, I think I blew the right front off of it, honestly.
So now Jeffrey was worried about this, though, and I would imagine all the drivers are, about the tire wear here late in this race. Is there anything you can do other than hope he burnt his off more than you burn up yours?
Yeah, that's pretty much where it's at. He's class of the field.
All right, bud. Well, good luck the rest of the way here. Lights are out. We'll get you back and ready to roll here. So we'll see. Nate Ranke not overly confident. Green flag goes back in the air. We are underway once again. Here comes Connor Babel looking to the outside of Ranke. He covered the inside lane perfectly. We'll see how these damaged race cars are going to hold up here towards the back of the pack as well. Call the lead 2 car lengths for Jeffrey Stanton as they head back to turn 1 this time. And Ranke's closing back in. 25 laps to go here at Lucas Oil Raceway, and we're going to have a fight for the race lead. Seems like Jeffrey Stanton's car has gotten better and better over the long run. Here's the big move to the inside. Ranke's going to go for the lead. They'll continue side by side down the backstretch. Ranke taking the shorter way around. Connor Babel wants a piece of the action as well. Here comes Stanton fighting back to the outside. New race leader at the line, Nate Ranke. Almost make, oh, they do make contact. Ranke way to the inside. What a save. Tough break for Nate Ranke. He had the race lead. Little contact with Jeffrey Stanton. Show it to you again here on the Hot Shoe Racewear Instant Replay. Ranke slides up. It may have been a little bit of Stanton coming down, but what a save by Nate Ranke. Still going to stay inside the top 5. But he's going to have some work to do now as we're going to be down to 20 laps to go. Jeffrey Stanton holding off Connor Babel by a third of a second. Ryan Steele, Brandon Buckberger right there to battle for the second position. Here comes Steele down to the inside. They're able to make that inside lane work. It just burns the tires off the car. Oh, big hit into the outside wall for Babel. Brandon Buckberger comes around, and the recovery drive has been spectacular. Buckberger up 5 spots to now run in the 3rd position after going to the back early in this race. Ryan Steele now going to try to hunt down Jeffrey Stanton, but the gap is pretty big at this point. Nate Ranke, who was your race leader for about a lap and a half, closing in on Connor Babel. That'll be the fight for the 4th position. Man, this race is getting good as we get down to the nitty-gritty here. Looked like Rodrigo Munoz may have gotten it up into the fence as well. Ranke down to the inside of Babel. He will easily claim the 4th position through 1 and 2. Not much of a fight that Babel's able to put up there. Oh, look, trouble. Rodrigo Munoz. That car just absolutely snapped left. Nice save by Munoz. He's going to slide back into the pack just a little bit here. We pick back up towards the front. Ranke and Babel continuing to fight for 4th. Down inside of 15 laps to go here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park, and Jeffrey Stanton's opened the lead back up to about 0.8 of a second over Ryan Steele. Steele up 5 spots from the drop of the green flag here this evening. He's been pretty darn good. So is Brandon Buckberger. How about your Hard Charger of the Race award winner, at least right now anyway, Cristobal Valenzuela up 10 positions to run in 6th. Basically kept the front end of that race car clean, and it's gotten them up towards the front. Nobody battling for position. Closest fight on the racetrack, about 0.4 of a second between Brandon Buckberger and Nate Ranke for the 3rd position. That gap's now opened up to right around a half second or so. It'll be 10 laps to go. This time by for race leader Jeffrey Stanton. He's been the class of the field all night. It'll be interesting to see how much he had to work the in-car adjustments. The Silver Crown cars do have the weight jacker available to them. We heard Jeffrey talking about diamonding off the corner. Cut it in a little bit hard on corner entry, slide up towards the outside wall, then cut it back down again. You really see it there in turns 3 and 4. Use as much of the racetrack to slow down as possible. Try not to burn the tires off by over-rotating the car. second, third, and fourth, turning into a pretty good battle here. Ryan Steele, Brandon Buckberger, Nate Ranke all going into action. So we're going to be down to 5 laps to go here in just a moment. Buckberger looking down to the inside of Steele. Not close enough to attempt the pass in 1 and 2. Dives down to the inside through 3 and 4. They are tight off the corner. Steele had the position at the line. Buckberger's going to have it on entry to 1. They'll continue to duel side by side all the way around the Brownsburg Oval. Oh, man, what a save by Ranke. He went to slide up the racetrack, and Ryan Steele was right there. 5 to go here at IRP. Jeffrey Stanton with a 2.5-second lead. Brandon Buckberger, Ryan Steele, Nate Ranke holding on in line. You see the damage on the 2 of Buckberger. He was involved in an early incident. As we are down to 3 to go. We'll see if Steele or Ranke has anything for Buckberger in second, as Jeffrey Stanton is checked out into another area code. 2 to go. Ranke trying to get to the inside of Steele. That's going to be the fight for the 3rd position. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for race leader Jeffrey Stanton. Put that 94 Napa Auto Parts machine on the pole, and he has led every lap along the way. Cleanly off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is in the air, and Jeffrey Stanton claims the win here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. Ryan Steele able to hold off Nate Ranke for the 3rd and final position on the podium here this evening. But your winner tonight, Jeffrey Stanton, absolutely spectacular. About as good of a drive as we've seen this season out of Jeffrey. Very impressive run. He'll get that car parked down on the front straightaway. Let's get your race results here as we get ready for the victory lane interviews. Jeffrey Stanton, the winner over Brandon Buckberger, Ryan Steele, Nate Ranke, Connor Babel, your top 5. Fantastic run for Cristobal Valenzuela, up 10 spots to finish in the 6th position and claim tonight's Hard Charger Award. Laura Gerhardt, Rodrigo Munoz, Josh Batista, Tommy Toe back through the top 10. Manuel Paredes, Derek Love, Pablo Donoso, Timothy Watson, James Watson, and Joseph Smith round out the field. Donoso, Watson, and Smith all having pretty significant crash damage issues here. And with that, let's head off here for the victory lane interviews. Kicking things off here with 3rd place running Ryan Steele, and get him up into the booth here with us. I'll tell you what, Ryan, you had a bit of an adventure out there tonight. Seems like everybody did, but the car was pretty good and able to move up a handful of spots.
Yeah, for me, I'm a little bit disappointed. Let a pretty good points opportunity get away by allowing Brandon to get back ahead. But setup-wise, Wayne wasn't here to help me this week, and so I had to go off of an old setup, and it didn't really take to this weather very well. It wanted to just insta-crash off the turns, which some guys, I'm sure, did that during the race. But I changed the gear to make it a little less likely to do that, and that probably killed my speed overall. but it made me more stable. So that got me through some people who crashed, but in the end, kept me from winning as well, I think.
Yeah, ultimately, it's about surviving these things in the Silver Crowns and the sprint cars, where the car is not real happy late in the run. Were you having to work the weight jacker a ton there over the course of that race?
It was already a little bit too loose on exit, even with the gear change. So I didn't go into the weight jacker very much because it would just make the problem worse. The only thing I could do is just stop trying to drive so hard. Just mentally slow down. You're not going to go any faster. Just drive the track. Don't worry about trying to catch the car in front of you because you're just not going to.
Well, it was a pretty darn good run here tonight to come home in third place. So congratulations on that one. And who would you like to thank?
Well, I got to thank you guys, number one, for covering the series because that definitely makes things more interesting. And got to thank Wayne for making a setup because at least I've got something to run. And that's about it.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. We appreciate the time there, bud. Let's pick up our runner-up finisher tonight, and I probably should call you some sort of a hard charger. Brandon Buckberger, the car looks all beat to hell, but I tell you what, man, you were fast all night long, going front to back, and up front again.
Yeah, I don't know if I was really fast, though. I mean, that was interesting for sure. I mean, had trouble early and then got a couple cautions that flew my way, and then there was a big wreck right in front of me. I don't know how I got through that one. And then towards the end, I think people were just getting loose, and I think my car was probably the best it was all night at the end there, and started following Ryan, and I followed his line, and I was about 2/10 quicker than him, and I'm surprised I actually got by him. And I know Nathan got loose off a corner once, and so did a couple other people, man. It looked slick out there, and like when it was sunny out, it was slick, but when there was a little bit of cloud cover, I think my car was really good. I'm just lucky I got second out of that one.
It truly was one of those cases where I think the dynamic track that iRacing has implemented really came into play, because cars were coming front to back, and you would see over the course of the run, guys would get faster, and then just out of the blue, they seemed a little bit slower, whether that was loose off the corners, tight mid-corner, whatever it was. I would imagine trying to manage the right side tires was a pretty big challenge as well.
I would think so. I mean, I couldn't really hold back at all after that first wreck. I don't know. I spun. I got into I don't remember who it was, but then I spun again right before that. Got a lap down, had a caution, got the lucky dogs. Then right after that, it's when it started getting good, and like it was just slick. It was crazy.
Well, a pretty good run here. Ends your streak of victories here, or at least you've had a few this season, but another top 5 finish is a fantastic points night for you as well.
Yeah, and I don't think I've won since Nashville. I had, New Hampshire, I had internet trouble, so dropped out, and Kentucky was, well, it wasn't as good as I thought it was last week. I know you guys didn't broadcast last week. You had something else going on, but hopefully I have a good couple weeks here and get another one of these wins, or one or two more before the end of the season here. So,
all right, Brandon. Well, thank you very much, bud. Congratulations on the podium tonight. And who would you like to thank?
Thanks to just Vinny Sansone. Him and I basically bounce setup ideas off him, and he tests with me quite a bit. So I just need to thank him.
All right, Brandon. Thank you very much. We appreciate the time there, bud. And let's get our race winner this evening, Jeffrey Stanton, in here. And I tell you what, Jeffrey, you were worried about that race car and burning the tires off of it. There was nobody close to you this evening. That was a pretty darn spectacular drive.
Yeah, I probably got a little bit lucky, though, when they started battling behind me there. Because otherwise, if there wasn't another yellow, I would have been toast. I got so tight on that last restart. And I tried working on the car with the weight jacker, getting it back down, and then just started hooking sideways off of 2. So it got real tricky there for a little bit.
I was going to say, that's what we heard. You're the first driver we've talked to tonight that's talked about the race car being tight. Is that just a difference in setup philosophy that can lead to that, or what causes that big swing from loose to tight?
I don't know. It's for whatever reason running this car up top for me. I always get tight. I just run Wayne sets or the iRacing sets off the baseline sets or Wayne sets off the form. But it just I don't know. It's just kind of weird. React sometimes.
I was going to say, you get your first win of the season here, and you do it on one of the broadcast races. Good points night for you as well. So congratulations on the win here. Let's get the thank yous and the sponsor plugs taken care of.
First off, for anything, I want to dedicate this one to the life of Bob Jenkins. It's pretty sad to see he passed earlier today. Obviously, I want to thank Napa Auto Parts of Rockwell, everyone that supports me, and y'all for broadcasting, and hope everyone tunes in for the sprint car race tomorrow.
Yeah, that's another one we're looking forward to in a pretty big way here. And with that, we are going to get ready to wrap up our coverage here this evening. And we lost one of the greats and one of the legends in the sport here today with the passing of Bob Jenkins after a pretty lengthy fight with brain cancer. And for anybody that grew up with the sport of auto racing in the 1980s, you knew Bob Jenkins as the voice of NASCAR on ESPN in one of the greatest all-time sports commentary booths alongside Ned Jarrett and Benny Parsons. To our fans out there in central Indiana, he was the voice of the IMS radio network for decades, starting well back, I think even into the 1970s. Starting as a turn reporter for the IMS radio network calling the Indy 500, became the voice of the 500 when Paul Page decided to take the TV money and head on over to the TV side of things. Bob Jenkins was how you spent your May if you lived in and around Indianapolis, Indiana, and he was one of the best of all time. Not many have done it better or anywhere as close to as good as Bob Jenkins. A very humble man who stepped out of the spotlight to attend to some family issues later in his life, ultimately making his final appearance at the Speedway just a couple of years ago. Sadly, Bob Jenkins passing away today at the age of 73. One of the reasons that I'm sitting here doing this, he was absolutely one of the best, and we do want to dedicate this show to the memory of Bob Jenkins. But with that, we're going to wrap things up, and we will see you all tomorrow night for live coverage of the iRacing Sprint Car Cup coming up here at 9 o'clock in the East. Burt Wojcik, Adam Rubright heading out to Knoxville, Iowa to help us cover the 60th anniversary Knoxville Nationals. Looking forward to a fantastic week of real world and virtual racing, and we'll have a lot more to tell you about that coming up this week. But until tomorrow night, we will talk to you all soon. For everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It has been a pleasure to have you with us this evening. We will talk to you soon. Have a great night, everybody.